focus on you as a leader, making sure you're healthy. Because so often, as goes the leaders, so goes the ministry. In this case, the students and their lives. And so we want you to have relationships and next steps. We want you to be an emotionally healthy, spiritually healthy leader. So, what is the primary call in the life of a disciple? The primary call in the life of a disciple means that you have a healthy inner life. What is the inner life? It's the center of who you are, your personality, your thoughts, what you tell yourself about yourself, your choices, your emotions. How do you have a healthy inner life? Christ makes his home in your heart through faith. As you trust in him, he makes your heart his home. The more the Spirit empowers your life, the greater your transformation into Christ likeness will be. But for some reason, we tend to make this just about spiritual growth. And yes, that is a part of it, but your inner life, your heart, your whole life, we tend to overlook emotional health. That's why relationships are such an important part in life change. We are more than just spiritual beings. God made us whole people in his image. There seems to be this message that has somehow slipped into many churches that to be human, to be emotional, is somehow bad or at least less spiritual. When we are asked how we should live, we go straight to the church answer of spirituality. Oh, we were modeling our lives after Jesus and how we pray, reading the Bible, serving others, worship. The problem with this is that we are more than just these spiritual beings. God made us whole. That means spiritual, physical, intellectual, emotional, social. We turn emotions into this bad thing that's always in the opposition to the Spirit of God somehow. We push down our emotions, deny anger, ignore pain, slip over depression, run from loneliness, and avoid confusing doubts. And we think this is a good thing. Ignoring our emotions is turning our back on reality. Listening to our emotions rushes us into reality. And reality is where we meet God. Emotions are the language of the soul. They are the cry that gives the heart a voice. However, when we turn a deaf ear through emotional denial, distortion, or disengagement, we strain out everything that is disturbing to us so we can gain control of our inner world. We are frightened and ashamed of what leaks into our mind or our heart. And in neglecting our intense emotions, we are false to ourselves and lose a wonderful opportunity to actually know God. We forget that change comes through brutal honesty and vulnerability before God. God is not so fragile that he can't handle your unedited soul. We cannot separate emotional health from spiritual maturity. When we know we are loved by God, I mean truly loved, deeply known, that we matter, we have value, we are important. This gives us the ability to go beneath the surface in our lives, to break the power of the past, to live in brokenness and vulnerability with ourselves and with God and into our relationships, to embrace who God has created us to be, accepting the limits he has given us as a gift, allowing us to be made more and more complete with the fullness of life and joy and power that comes from God. Why is this important? Because if you're growing in this, if you're becoming emotionally healthy and spiritually healthy, your students will be as well. But you know what's scary? The amount of Christians who are emotionally numb. Most Christians, they're self-conscious, not self-aware. But what if we slow down a bit? What if we actually began to ask questions that scare us? What if we began to lead with integrity and begin wondering, man, why am I always in a hurry? Why am I so impatient? Why am I constantly distracting myself? Why am I so anxious? Why am I so worried about what others think about me? Why am I devastated when I'm criticized? Why is it hard for me to know what I'm actually feeling? None of these questions are fun. This isn't usually a good time. But how can we enter the world of someone else when we have not even entered our own world? Dealing with your inner life. What's really happening in here, within us, it makes us feel weak. So the great irony is that it takes strength to feel weak. Maybe we need to learn that following Jesus is not always about being the strong one. Following Jesus is actually about being the weak one who was made strong by God. Jesus was someone who had intense, raw, emotional experiences. The truth is you are perfectly loved by God because of his life, death, and resurrection for you. You can stop acting like you have it all together. You can stop being strong. The strongest thing you can do is to begin to deal with your weakness, knowing you stand before God as loved because of who Christ allows you to be and who he says you are, gives you the freedom to explore those dark aspects of your life. A lot of times we just ask, hey, what's your problem? What does the Bible say about it? Why are we having this conversation? That's not practical theology. That's not lived out theology. That's not how you actually care for people. So what does it look like to begin dealing with what's going on within you. I think when you do that, you're going to help other people realize, oh, I can trust this person. I can talk to this person. This person does care about me. This person understands how they come off to other people. There's a book that's dramatically impacted my life called Emotionally Healthy Church. In fact, if you want a copy, I'd love to get that for you. But in the book, the author, Pete Scazzero, draws upon a prayer that helped propel him along this journey of processing emotions and living in brokenness and vulnerability. It goes like this. As I asked God for strength that I might achieve, I was made weak that I might learn humbly to obey. I asked for health that I might do great things. I was given sickness that I might do better things. I asked for riches that I might be happy. I was given poverty that I might be wise. I asked for power when I was young that I might have the praise of men. I was given weakness that I might feel the need for God. I asked for all things that I might enjoy life. I was given life that I might enjoy all things. I got nothing that I asked for, but everything I had hoped for. Almost despite myself, my unspoken prayers were answered. I am among all people most richly blessed. Our heart's desire is that you as leaders are growing into emotionally healthy, spiritually healthy followers of Christ who are moving and taking steps to look more like Jesus, because the best thing you can do to bring to your leadership is a heart that's been transformed by Christ.